the clergymen go to the door that leads to the back, and they kind of vanish in the back, and the elderly gentleman who's standing there, just a human, standing with the two clergies. So he's standing there kind of looking at you with his hands folded, and excuse me, I'm sorry if we surprised you, but we had received a vision of you specifically.
Oh.
There was not a message or anything direct, but we felt a certain push, if you will, in the direction of that dream, and we took it to mean that if we came across you, that we should help you in some way. And it's right about then that the two clergy come back in the room, and one of them's holding a small, like kind of like just like a wooden box. It's like no bigger than like say like a small chest is.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's just empty-handed and returns to the side of the old priest. So I just to ask what brings you to our humble chapel?
I hadn't been able to get to a temple in a while, as I've been traveling. So I decided to come here to pay my respects as per custom.
Of course. And do you know why you would have been the feature of a vision that, quite honestly, I've not seen before?
Vitani's ears like go down a little bit. I have my suspicions, yes. I had a vision myself. I actually wrote it down after I had it, and she's going to pull out her little notebook that she has and flip, stop, turn it around, and hand it to them. This is the vision that I had gained not too long ago.
And you're showing them the purple winged angel.
Yes.
Okay.
And pretty much because what you had wrote as the words,
mm-hmm.
She copied those words into her book as well.
Okay, so just more of like what you saw, because there wasn't a lot of words so much as knowledge that was basically implanted.
Yeah, well, consider it. It said, from what I got from your things.
Oh, you mean what she said to you directly?
Yes.
Okay, let me.
Because again, it's very it's hard for me even now to try to reread that.
Yeah, I get it.
It hurts my eyes. The font you used.
Oh, that's so weird. Why did it do that? Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, see?
It just looks so much better. So...
Don't get me wrong, it's pretty.
Yeah. Alright, just give me a sec. insert. Alright. And then I can. Oh, it's gonna take. There we go. Nope, that's not working. So out of curiosity. Oh, nope. Remove. That's not what I want. Because whenever I do right. Alright. So anyway, let me read that real quick. So you wrote down most of this, or just, I mean, this like verbatim, or was it just the gist?
Pretty much the whole thing. Like as soon as she woke up, she began to write.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she wouldn't forget anything.
Okay. Right. So yeah. Okay. And you haven't shared any of this with your team, have you?
I have not. That's why I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he reads the words, slowly. So he reads the words. It's kind of slow, but he eventually gets caught up having them in front of him, and he is just in some kind of cosmic disconnect. Like you can just see, like everything leading up to this point has, like for him, has just been about doing the work, about being faithful, about growing the flock. Like you understand what the mission of a priest is. They essentially shepherd the flock, and this is true for all faiths across the land. They all have the purveyors, the speakers, the mouthpieces. But reading this is incredible because and not him, but it's relatively unheard of to get a message directly from one of the gods, especially post times of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Pre that, there's plenty of lore and legends of mortals being engaged by avatars of their deity, and
And
plenty
then
of.
after I see that he's done, I just say, "This isn't the first time that I had something like this."
Correct. It's not the first time. So.
And she points to her moonstone.
Mm-hmm. Now the moonstone was a gift. Now gifts are a little different. They come again very sparingly, but they're not as unheard of. Where certain people who are expected to do certain things will be gifted with either an ability or an item, but it's still once in a lifetime or once in a generation at least.
Yeah.
So it was rare for that to have come to pass, and then to read this is really set this guy kind of for a loop. And you see the two clergy that were standing next to him have also been reading, of course. It's not necessarily hidden from them. And they react unexpectedly. You are suddenly in front of three members of the faith who realistically are, probably the clergy on the same level as you, and maybe the priest, like if you want to just say like a hierarchy that semi exists.
Mm-hmm.
This guy would be maybe someone that you would look to for guidance,
Yeah.
Suddenly these three people are in a position of prayer in front of you.
Oh.
It's kind of, I would imagine,
Weird.
Weird.
Weird is a good answer. Weird.
They don't reference anything in the canon. There are, of course, signs, measures of, speak of returning the faith to their own portion of whichever heaven Saloon presides over. Kind of like like a great day for everyone to be shepherded home. And they talk about this in the means of just before the end time. So they're not mentioning anything like this. They're not bringing up that it's time to go home or anything. That's apocalypse theory.
Yeah.
But the prayers that they're referencing are more of messengers and of the one who hears the goddess. There are some scriptures that suggest that at some point in time, a particular person of importance will be born, one who can hear and understand the goddess's wishes directly. Sorry, my cat's losing his mind. Get lost.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, wrong cat.
So, after and they're down there for probably like 30 seconds at this point.
I say, please stand.
So the trio of them referencing multiple scriptures kind of just pushes the question down at its base level, like just a polite question doesn't quite get to them.
You all can stand up, please.
You see one of the clergymen kind of like wants to respond, but the priest hasn't quite picked it up yet, and he kind of like reaches over to the other clergyman and gives him a push, and eventually the two of them manage to get him up off his feet, and he is just very without words in front of you, and then he motions like to give you the box, which they hand out to you.
I take the box and look at it.
When you open it up, the box inside of it has a jar and two of those familiar-looking red potions. These are clearly of cleric make because they have gold flecks in them, which are the preferred healing potions among adventurers.
Oh. And how many of those? How many of what? Send that to? Yes.
Sure. Again, there's two of these potions. You're not sure, how good they are, but there's two red and gold flecked potions.
Okay.
But as you know from your faith, you know that in adventuring, you know that there's typically three different forms of potion, depending on who brews it. Usually, druid-made or earth-made magics are very earthy. They're very unpleasing to drink.
Yeah.
The arcane version, which is usually done with alchemist supplies, has a very medicinal flavor to it, which is also not pleasing, but it's not the worst. It's kind of like having to go in on like a really gritty vitamin thing, which is what your druid would be like, and this is more like cough syrup. And then you have your kind of Luden's cough drops of the world, where it's kind of sweet and fairly enjoyable. And that's what the healing, the cleric's version of potions are. They're usually much more pleasing to the palate.
Right.
So you have that stuff. That's all that's in that particular box. That's really all this very small chapel can offer. But
I look
they
I look at them
feel
and
that
I say, I look at them and I say, "Thank you. This will definitely assist me."
you get again like a trio of super low bows,
Yeah.
and the priest is it's like I wish we could do more. We're but a humble chapel.
It's fine, really. I came in here not even expecting any of this.
And they're there. They're not sure what to expect next. But they seem pleased that you're pleased.
um, but Tawny's gonna kind of
Let me see what.
scratch the back of her neck and be like, "I'm going to go uh pray now to the goddess."
Of course, and they kind of like step to the side so that they're not blocking the altar.
I put the box in my backpack and get my meditative state.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And
just like my mind is like, what in the world is going on? Probably.
weird. No worries. Sorry, it looks like my calendar didn't save. I'm glad I posted that. I was just
Ah!
thinking what day it was.
God! Ah! Oh, Aiden, honey, you did you class into a rogue because you're getting sneakier by the day?
Hey, he's got to keep you on your toes somehow.
Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Why? So you are perfectly fine to, pray and have your moment of piety. They don't disturb you further.
Okay.
Um, any particular thing you're praying, or is it just like your standard?
Standard.
Okay. All right. So you won't, like I said, you won't be disturbed anymore. That's pretty much all that happens. He does let you know before you leave that obviously on Saints Day he'll be giving his typical what's it called sermon if you wanted to attend, um, which is in 2 days, so probably not.
Yeah.
And
I believe my friends and I have already planned on moving out before then. If that is, if they have not already, that is, if they are not gotten in trouble. I hope not.
of course, and if you're ever back, and every Saints Day and every Moon Day, we have a sermon.
I will be happy to swing by if I am back in the town.
They all kind of give you like one last bow as you take your leave. Which, I mean, at that point, this would be right after the shopping. So, I mean, this is more like probably around, I want to say 12, 1 o'clock. We're starting to move into the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Jax and Primus are currently gallivanting about the city looking for their particular dive bar. Is there anything that Rye is doing specific?
Just exploring.
Alright. You looking for anything, or is it just kind of checking out the city?
Checking out the city.
Alright. So as I mentioned, it's fairly big. It's a trade mecca. And while kind of roaming the town, you do notice that it's kind of well behaved. Like, for as hustle and bustle as it is, you don't see many people on the streets doing like shell games. You don't see any of the snake oil sales kind of going on. Like, and there's plenty of guard around the city. There's a lot of just upstanding like behavior going on, which is a little strange for a city as large as this. But you also, just through your travels, you come across the large castle that's in the center, but it's again has a secondary wall that keeps additional people out of it. And you notice that this place, for being a large city, has a lot of residential homes, kind of, as I mentioned, off to the side, and seems to be just like a primary focus for commerce. It does have some official buildings, but nothing like no kind of I know emissary isn't right. What's it called? The diplomatic places. Embassies, thank you. There's no like diplomatic embassies or anything like that. It seems to be very much just a human kingdom controlled city that has, for some reason, just like a cut above its morality normally than normal, what you'd normally see in a human city. And we'll move over to Cathen. Anything that you wanted to do specific?
Nothing too much. Just find a place to sleep and wait to see what I get in the morning.
Gotcha. All right. So
You'll
inevitably end up at the I think the glass torch it was.
Okay.
And I guess that brings us to Keza. You had earlier in the day received a message from a particular someone that you had met at the Hunter's Hall. You were expecting to, by some means, run into this person at Luxlet. However, it seems that they have bumped into you mysteriously again, gave you a time and a place, and actually a particular seat, a slight little drawing on that piece of paper that has just like a little circle on essentially a square with the name of the tavern in the center of that square. So you'll have an idea of where to be. Also mentions to look for the flower. And I don't think we have anything else coming up before then, so we will say that you all go about your business through the day, and by nightfall, you would have either found your way to one of the taverns. I'm not sure if Keza mentions where she's going to be headed, but The Glass Torch is pretty much the very middle of the road tavern. It's not the fancy one, and it's not the dive one. At about, I'm going to say a little bit before 9 p.m., Keza, that's when you would arrive at the Glass Torch as directed. If you're speaking, you're muted.
Who are you trying to reach?
Keza. So I'm looking for Zia.
Pinger?
Oh.
She might have went to grab food.
Oh, damn.
So you did that explanation for shit.
At Zia. I will have to repeat.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
1 second.
Sorry, Christine's in here making a shit ton of noise. No, you will not.
I know.
Oh my god.
Getting more terror.
You rang?
No, that's just Christy over here mangling this poor box. Never be right again. That's not what I.
Right.
Welcome back. So you arrive at the Glass Torch. It is a very it's a clean establishment. It's not necessarily high end. It's just well maintained. Looking about, there is a kind of a jovial spirit in the particular proximity. A pretty fair number of people in the area. They seem to be centralizing more to the stage side because currently there is someone performing on the stage. She is a. There's two people. Sorry, two people. the people performing on the stage right now, one of them is a blonde elvish woman who's kind of doing this essentially like kind of like a tap kind of style dance with a halfling who's also a woman playing a violin. She has red hair, kind of freckles, dark brown eyes, and off to one side is a opened uh, instrument case, which is finding, or so I should say, receiving a good number of coin between sets, between different performances. She does a couple of different types of dances through the evening. On the other side, which is where you look after from where other people's eyes are being drawn, in a corner is a familiar hooded figure with a single white tulip in a small vase. Small little glass kind of vase.
Okay.
And again, something about that cloak, or maybe just the hood that she has on. There's just kind of this darkness that even in this kind of lighting shouldn't be there, but it completely hides uh, the face under the cloak.
Also, you said that freaking. You were like, you didn't know if I told anyone. Of course, I told everybody. I'm not fucking stupid. If this ends up being a kidnapping, I clearly would want anyone that I am associated with would be aware of such a thing possibly happening.
Cool. All right. So you're all informed of where Kaysa is going to be around 9. There's an inn called the Glass Torch.
Well, Vitani would head there after.
Right.
After that, so probably before they would even get there.
So we'll say that Rai, Vitani, and Kathen have arrived at the Glass Torch. Gex and Primus are elsewhere making trouble.
That's fair. That's normal.
So, Kaysa, you do see kind of scattered about is your friends. Kathen would probably be closer to. Well, I'm not sure. Would you be closer to the action or to the quiet side of the tavern?
What was that?
Would you be closer to the more rowdy side of the tavern or the quieter side of the tavern?
I would be closer to the quiet side because I would more likely just push people away who would try and sit with me if I don't know them.
All right, so across this, yeah, I know. I'm just saying they're off somewhere else where trouble's going to be soon. So the Dragonborn is kind of out at the opposite end of the bar, kind of keeping to himself. Where would Vitani and Rai be?
Rye would have taken a corner table with a clear view of the common room and would have left enough room for her other companions if they wanted to join her.
Cool. So we'll say you're in the corner, kind of tucked back behind, like to the side of the bar. That has a nice clear view of the common room. Kathen's kind of close by, and I assume Vitani would have joined Rai when she came in.
Yes.
Okay. So they're all in the opposite corner, like same side of the building, but opposite corner from where your particular person of interest is. Man, another fire truck.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Problem of living off the side of a main road.
I don't have that issue. I'm in a dead small town.
We're at the end of a small town.
Yeah, we're at the very end.
Oh. Well, in 10 years, you shouldn't be at the end.
No, it's been steadily encroaching since 2009. It went from a single road to a multiple lanes.
Oh, okay. Hey, progress.
But yeah, I mean, sit down.
All right. So you walk over to the table, sit down, and joining the figure there, a hand reaches up and pulls the hood back until it rests on her shoulders, and is the same dark elf figure that you met before. And she kind of looks your way with a little bit of a smile. Mr. Kaiser, pleasure to meet you again.
Oh, well, the pleasure's all mine.
Fantastic. I'm so glad you are here. It turns out that the little thing I had in Luxland fell through. However, if you don't mind helping me with a matter of personal interest, there is something I'm looking to accomplish this evening.
Well, depends on what it is that you seek to accomplish.
Well, let's just say that there is a particularly, let's say, less than polite noble who resides in this particular town. And he is about to make an unknowingly generous donation to the orphanage a town over.
Hmm. Flips his coin in between his fingers as he's thinking. And I don't see any issue with that. It seems so far that it's more than simply a gesture of goodwill.
I would agree. Where I need a second set of hands is because it is a two-story building, and I need someone to take care of the guest quarters upstairs. Now keep in mind, the guest quarters are not garnered by their guests. It is his family that lives there, so we won't be taking anyone that isn't directly linked to them, and I can assure you the family did not fall far from the tree.
Hmm. Well, I'm not entirely convinced yet. Do you have any proof of any such malpractice of any sorts? Anything that would lead to them being warranted of a little visit?
So, because of your background, I'm going to have you make a history check, because she's going to mention a noble family name, and they do have a certain level of infamy. Just to see it, to make sure that you weren't by some ungodly reason kept out of the loop on that particular family's kind of dirty deeds. They own a particular piece of land that's a little overtaxed, and they're kind of dicks to anyone under their station.
Well, I rolled an 18.
Natural 18?
Well, modified.
Modified 18. Okay. That's still enough. DC is 15. So, a particular set of woods that they own is often used to collect lumber and is used to distribute that through the cities that are being developed or new buildings that are being made. But they're often not fair with wages. They only pay what's needed for basically their people to live. They force them into serfdom. they're also, who the fuck moved that damn token? Like, the only way for me to have that fucking gem on there with the name flag is for it to be touchable.
What the hell?
Damn, I didn't know how strongly you felt about this.
I know, right?
It's
me a little bit.
it's just flashbacks from the old campaign. Like, I had the same problem. It probably gets. See, he even left. He knew. So, anyway, the family is the Beaumonts. They're total jerks. And among your family, they're actually allied with your family. Because your family, having mostly the casinos and stuff, often comp all of their rooms and stuff so that when they come by, they spend some of that delicious gold in the gambling ring.
Son of a bitch. Damn, can't believe it. You used my backstory. Wow, unbelievable. Okay. That makes it a little bit of an easier choice then. Okay. Well, let's just say we happen to accidentally find ourselves inside. What do you wish to do with all of their legitimate, as he does quote marks, earnings?
Correct. So, we needn't take anything too large, right? Just the things that are pretty but not important, yes? So, what I'm looking for is simply small valuables that can be easily fenced. I happen to have a man in town, as it is today, and there's a guild who works out of here that my faction is allied with, who I know I can trust to be good with the gold. We acquire what we need, make our way out of the house unseen, and deliver the goods to said fence, who will give us a fair share, and most of that gold shall go to the orphanage, a portion to my guild fee, and the rest for us. Does that sound agreeable? The Underworld Trilogy.
Oh, you get it, CJ?
I understand.
I want to roll an insight on her first.
Sure. Yeah, she, go ahead and...
Just to see if what she's saying is all fair. Like, she wants to give it to someone that's gonna do something meaningful with the money in it, things like that.
Sure.
16.
Total 16, okay. Let's see. Okay. So, as you're listening, you're paying attention to the words and such, looking for hints of lies or omission. Nothing really pops up. She does seem interested in giving a heavy portion of what they received from the fence to an orphanage in presumably Luxlin. The fence information seems above board, and it doesn't seem to be that she's lying about being a part of a guild or working with an allied guild. And overall, you kind of get the feeling that while she's making light of the situation, like kind of, punishing the rich and giving to the poor, there is a note of personal interest. Kind of like she might not just be targeting them because they're a worthy target, but also because she is vested in it. No, Gex, we're not robbing an orphanage. We're robbing a noble to give to the orphanage. Yeah, it's a Robin Hood situation.
Yes, we're stealing from the orphanage to give to the rich people. Don't fuck those orphans.
Is he tall?
If we're stealing from the orphans, will we make Batman in the future?
It's a she. She's a dark elf, and she's about 4'10".
Damn, she's shorty.
Yeah, she's a
Still
short girl.
taller than Gex.
Elves usually are on the short end. Like a tall elf is 5'4".
I don't know where you got that. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be pretty tall.
No, they're in what's it called? The Forgotten Realms. They're short asses.
Damn. Unfortunately, all my elves are 6 foot.
They're like in second edition / the Forgotten Realms. They're like just a little taller than dwarves.
Elves in D&D Beyond in general are usually under 5 feet or over 6 feet. They're not really in between.
Yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm almost convinced here. I'm just a little bit curious. It seems to be a lot of trouble for someone such as yourself to go through all this. I mean, just to give money to your guild to hand out. I mean, believe me, I have my own personal interest in this certain family, but it seems to me as there's something a little bit extra in it for you as well. Otherwise, I don't think you would have gone through such complicated means.
Well, I mean, it's not super complicated. You look for the asshole in the bunch of nobles, and you target that guy. But I will admit, I do not agree with the business ethics of the particular family. And I will also say let's say we're exploring interests in the wrong forest. Just to point out, because you would be aware, their families' wood, like where they take their woods, are usually pretty close to Green Rest, so it's usually this particular batch of woods. They have been looking at expanding into here as they are running out of not necessarily forest timber, but they are only allowed to cut so much as to not remove the forest.
Well, I mean, complicated is more of a figure than speech, an actual complication. Very well. After thinking about this, well, as he flips the coin once and then like as a gesture of just like, is this gonna be a good investment or is it gonna be a bad one? I'm going to decide that with a bit of a real coin. As he as he flips the coin and it lands in his palm and he sees that it lands in heads. Well, let's see if fortune will lead me to a wonderful path here. As he smiles a big grin and he says, well, you got yourself a deal here. I'd be more than happy to lend you my assistance.
Fantastic. She smiles back and kind of sits up in her chair a little bit from her slouched position. Well, it is night, so as long as we do this tonight, is there anything you need to get or do before we head out?
Let's see, looking through my stuff. I have my thieves' tools. I have my other stuff. The coin. And it's like, are there places still open?
As you were coming to the glass torch after walking around the cities, you do see that there are some candlelit street lamps out and about. However, there's a lot of dark cover you can move about. A lot of places are kind of closing up for the night, unlike Willow West and Cradleton, where things closed when the sun went down. This place seems to stay open till a specific time, and right about 9-10 o'clock is when doors start to close.
I think it's fine. I think I'll be fine.
All right. Shall we?
Just a leisurely night stroll doesn't hurt nobody.
All right. So, you guys walk through the city. It takes about 20 minutes to get where you're going, and she is keeping to back alleys. She does have her hood up, so her face is just obscured by whatever effect the hood has.
Before I leave the place, though,
Okay.
I will drop a word at one of my friends. I'll just say Rai, and just say that I'm going to take care of some business opportunity, and that if you need me, just feel free to holler when I come back.
What's the opportunity?
Let's just say that there's some bad people that need to be relieved of something that they don't need.
Do you need help?
I think I will manage just fine. It's not my first walk in the park.
Vitani's going to look at you, kind of tilt her head a little bit.
It's in the cards. The luck has never failed me.
Well,
But it was simply a nice gesture to let you know is all.
before you run off, here. And here.
Okay.
If you need help, call. We'll come.
Sure, dark vision lasts for 1 hour. Okay. So, essentially, Keza, when you step outside where it was pretty much pure darkness, there was a night without starlight. You can see almost as if it was twilight.
Well, I already had dark vision, but now I have the extra range.
Well, also you can see colors too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I just saw that. Yeah.
And you also have advantage on your next initiative roll.
Also, I ain't gonna be just walking over there in plain sight. You fucking nuts. All right, let's see.
No, but it's
No.
a just in case kind of thing.
No, I'm talking to freaking to CJ because he's like, oh, she's putting up her hood and being sneaky. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, well, watch this, fucking. And I rolled a 26 and stuff. I'm
Cool.
done.
All right. Yeah. Between the two of you, very easily passing stealth roll. I'm going to use that for the next thing. When you guys get to where you're headed, which is this beautiful estate, with these immaculately trimmed like square bushes, it looks like one of those typical, flowery kind of estate, kind of leading up to the place. She swings you guys to the back, and you see that the wrought iron fence that surrounds it is much closer to the home in the back. There are a few guards kind of just like patrolling the grounds, but there's only a couple of them, and at a particular point, they'll leave an opening for you guys to try to get in. So the first roll is going to be a stealth roll, which I rolled for you, 26 and 23, so you guys get in over the fence just fine, over to the window. Open that up in the back and hop in. You guys find yourself in a kitchen. She slowly pulls the window down and looking around, she grins a little. It's outside of that door on the left. There's a stairway. Take it upstairs. Once you're up there, you'll have a very small amount of time. There is a few guards that patrol the general downstairs. Not too many, just the one. Really. The other one is more or less just in a particular room for the most of the night. Don't spend too much time up there. Get what you can find, and then come down. We don't want to spend all night here.
He nods.
Good. And as much as I love your boisterous voice, this is a time for a light foot and a quiet step. Grab a few things.
I mean, he hasn't. The entire time they've been getting in here, he hasn't spoken a single word. He already knows the routine.
And I'm sure you do, but she's the first time she's working with you, so she's just being extra careful. And she points to the door on the right. I'm going to go out that way after I hear the footsteps pass. I would say don't be up there for any more than, I would say 2 to 5 minutes. When I'm satisfied with what I have, I will head out of this window. You do the same. We will meet in the woods just behind the fence.
Nods again.
Alright. So we're going to be at, not necessarily skill, we're going to be at skill checks, but it's not like typical. So let me go ahead and move us to the left.
Don't worry, Primus. I'll steal you the biggest.
Good luck!
Like,
Don't die, Zia! Don't forget you have advantage on your initiative check!
Uh-huh.
And you have very large dark vision. Also, CJ, you need to make a Thieves' Cant channel.
Thieves' Cant channel.
I like to imagine that while I'm going to rob some rich people, I pass by Gex. He's also doing crime as well.
I'm not doing crime. What are you talking about?
So when you come upstairs, there is a moment you hear some footsteps kind of pass. They're not quiet. Like whoever is in here is clearly in some armor. And he's walking kind of heavily around. You can audibly hear him pass by and make kind of like hear the dimming of the sounds. When you go out, there is literally a set of stairs just right outside that kitchen that you can walk right up, and you find yourself in this particular kind of upstairs foyer.
Steal the armor. Grab the guy, take his armor clean off his body, and then just
It's like tear away armor.
it's like a cartoon.
Isn't that a thing? It's like it's like a common magic item, like armor doffing or something like that.
Alright, so
you see, when you come up here, you see all kinds of, like, obviously doors to all kinds of different rooms.
yeah, this is a nice house, right?
It is a nice house, and you do see that suit of armor is there.
I need to pee.
Now, first question I have is that immediately I would probably know where these people would probably keep valuables in, as I've lived in a house that's similar to this.
Right, so that's why, I put the DC for some of these searches at a relatively low, because I knew you would have had experience in a chateau. Also, whenever you go in, there will be some things that you'll immediately know, and there will be a few things you gotta look for.
So let's see. If I remember, she didn't point to a specific room, right? She didn't say any specific room?
She just said, find what you can, and, come back down. She just knew basically where to send you, and that's it.
Okay, well, in that case, I guess, I would look for the room that would probably be the most likely to have anything valuable. I would just, peek in a room.
Alright.
I think this is a door, right?
Let me move you back over. Yep, that's a door.
Just take a quick gander inside.
Okay. Go ahead and reveal that room. Just cut off over here. Oh, fine. Don't do it. I mean, whatever. It's not like we're trying to reveal areas or anything. There we go. Stupid. Roll 20. So when you open up this room, it is obviously, a well-made bedroom. By the looks of it, someone is currently staying in this room. Like, they're not here, but the room is inhabited. You see another two doors. There's a notable, heating. I want to say it's like a fireplace. It's not a fireplace, but it's kind of like this source of gentle, magical heat. You're familiar with, obviously, it's not a fire, but the way the flames are kind of just dancing is more of like a visual, clearly magical effect, and it just radiates heat in the area, so it keeps the room nice and warm.
Alright, well, bedroom is already a good sign, because, people keep their shit in their bedroom, so I'll look around in the bedroom a bit.
Alright, so this room has... there's a few, bottles and such in the two drawers, like the end stands next to the thing. You could collect a few rings and a necklace. Doesn't look like they're severely valued, but they are, definitely not like costume jewelry. So they're definitely worth taking because they'll easily fit in your pockets. You have when you look into the chest, like at the foot, it's just empty. It looks like it's just there for, whatever X thing would be deposited.
Yeah, if there's nothing in it, I don't linger. I'm working quick.
Alright, so there's nothing in the chest here. Like I said, you got like a necklace from here and then two rings from there.
Alright, this is a door over here, right?
That's a window.
Oh, that's a window? Okay.
The bright squares are the windows, and the kind of like dull gray squares are the doors.
Okay.
Oh, did I not? Hold on. There
Yeah,
is. Let me get this. There's a door here and a door here that you might not see.
Okay. Well, there's nothing in the bathroom, I imagine.
Yes, that's a bathroom. It's a latrine.
Yeah, no, there's nothing
Well, but I will mention that when you look at the toilet, there's no exit for anything. Like there should definitely be a pipe there, but there's not.
there. Bathroom secret. I mean, do I have to roll anything to deduce if there's anything odd about this already?
If you want to just push the lever, see what happens, because it looks like it should flush, but there's just nowhere for it to flush. It's just a bowl.
Yeah.
You see a wave of strange purplish energy kind of wash over the bowl, and it vanishes. You've heard of these. They are called portal potties.
Aw, I hate that. No, boo. That's stupid, but kind of cool. All right, there's no fancy tricks here. All right, moving on.
Oh, well, before, there is a door here if you wanted to check that out.
Oh yeah, the
Like
door
I said,
there.
it's not there, yeah. It's locked.
Pick it.
Alright, give me the, roll.
Thieves' tools.
Sure, you'll do fine.
24.
Yep, you beat the DC of 20. The, door opens. We'll go ahead and reveal that. Okay, so we'll just go out here with it, back up, and then back over. Wait, let's go up a little bit more so I can just make sure I connect it.
Hello.
So there is, okay, so this is kind of a weird room. When you walk in, there's some like weird ceremonial robes. You see a large chest, has a lock on it. The smaller chest also has a lock on it. From where the large chest and small chest is, just testing a little bit. The large chest can be, just slightly moved just to make sure it's not affixed, but the small chest is down there. It's affixed to that wooden kind of thing it's resting on. Last thing to note in here is that the stand that's not the pointer tool. The stand right here has a strange marble kind of like feminine face with these fangs coming out of her upper lips. And the eyes on the marble are painted a solid black. And on either side are these black or gold candles that have been lit, but they're not like currently lit. With a small black bowl in front of it.
Wait, so there's like a statue there?
It's more like a bust.
A bust, okay. Well, first things first.
It's not small. It's heavy as hell.
16 to check the chest to make sure there's nothing, that's gonna fuck me over if I try to open them.
Yep, big trap. I mean, so for the large chest, there's no traps.
Okay, and the small one?
Roll again.
18.
18. No traps there either.
Okay, so first to pick the lock. 25 and 28.
Alright, so starting with the big chest, you're able to open that one up. Inside of that chest is a trio of very fancy arrows. All of them look different. One of them is red. It has just like a red shaft, a very standard point, and these glittery gold fletching.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is it looks like it's made of chain that is just magically rigid. And the last one actually has a kind of like a ball on the end, and you can see in the ball is just like this swirling gray cloud kind of looking thing, and every now and again you can see just the faintest flicker of lightning. And they're just resting on like a stand.
Well, those are getting pocketed. What's the small chest got?
Alright, so I need you to roll once more because it's a tricky lock.
Once more, so...
Yep, you have a 28 now.
And a 26.
26. Okay, so you roll 26, and still open the tricky lock on it. It's magical. Beating the lock, you find a small book, a very strange but dressy dagger.
That's all getting shoveled in. I will
All
take
right.
a gander at it later. Alright, any other openings that I can take a gander?
Nope, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say 6. 6 actions. We're at 36 seconds. So in that room, there is nothing else. You have all the doors at your disposal.
Dang, it's a lot of doors. Okay. I'll just go here, open it quickly.
All right. So while I reveal it, I'll just tell you right now that that is a closet. It has cleaning supplies.
Yep, move on.
Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, so we go for this one. Looks like that room has another door in it, and then another set of stairs that leads back downstairs.
Okay, so that's my way out. Got it. This one?
This one, go ahead and just grab it on the outside, and that way we can just reveal the whole room. Yeah, we'll go for this too. Another bedroom with another closet.
Alright. What about this door next to me? I'll check that one real quick before I go into the bedroom.
Sure, sure. So this is a trophy room. There's a bunch of deers, and there's a boar head, bear statue in there, and another suit of armor.
Is there any storage in there that I can see?
Yeah, there is one storage room right here. And again, like there's that closet.
I'll take a peek at this door.
All right, so. All right. This room has. Oh, it's not revealing. But when you open it up, there is a. Why are you not doing it, my guy? Come on now. There we go. This room has a desk in it. Looks like it was used to, just basically scribe stuff, not anything important. When you open up the dresser, it's just actually shelving. It looks like it was supposed to be kind of like a cupboard, and it has just a bunch of different inks and stuff in there with some paper.
Okay. Well, I think the best thing to do is to leave that bedroom alone until I go down those other set of stairs. So, I'm gonna go and check this room now.
Alright, so. Alright, so that's another 3. So we're at 4. When you open up this door, have a look around the room, we will be at 1 minute. This room, gotcha. So, something of a dedicated alchemy room. There's just a bunch of stuff that, just thrown about. I would say the one thing that just based on passive perception is you would pick up that there seems to be a book and some scribbles with this kind of like unfinished process that someone's in the middle of. There's a book and some scattered notes on the table. You haven't looked at them, but maybe interesting, maybe not.
I'll take the notes. Maybe they'll be worth something.
All right. 66 seconds. Oh, whoops, did I miss that? I'll just give this one to you for free. There is a small closet here, but it's just storage.
Yeah.
All right, so we go this way. All right, so we go in here. There is a hallway that leads a couple of different ways. Make sure I get the doors here because that's what I failed on last time.
I'll check this out later. This door.
This door will have another bedroom. Now this room looks like it's been tossed. Like, not that someone's been in here, but whoever was in here was doing something kind of obvious. With someone else.
I see. Sure, we'll give it a quick scope, make sure there's nothing valuable in here.
Alright, so there are clothes hanging over the wall, and I know you're investigating the room, so go ahead and investigate it.
18.
18. So, in here, you don't find anything exceptional except a few nice sets of shoes in the armoire. You do note that there. I'm sorry, I must not have revealed that proper, but there is another door right there.
Yeah, pop it open. What's inside there?
In there, you will see. Another trunk and another kind of dresser.
And then I'm guessing this is a bathroom. I open it, and I'm assuming it's a bathroom.
Okay, so then gotcha. So we'll open up that one. Oh, I'm sorry, that door is also locked. Go ahead and unlock it if you can.
No, it ain't, because that's a 24.
Yep. Okay, so you open up that. It's a low DC. It's 15. You open that up, and you do find that there's a chest over there. Opening it up. What's your? Hold on, just to be. Yeah. So it is locked. Go ahead and try to unlock that one.
Let's see. That's a 27.
Beautiful. Okay, so you pop it open, easy, and then just go ahead and make a perception check.
Let's see. Plus 2. 17.
17. Okay. So just when you open it up, Avi, it's empty. But just kind of just glancing at it real quick while you have it open. Something about the chest in its positioning is kind of weird. Like, normally you just have it cleanly rested up against something, or where you could easily open it. The way that it's set in the room is so when you open the chest, it's hard to actually get the thing fully open, and you have to like peer into it. So it's just weird.
Okay, I poke around. Does it have like a false bottom or like something behind it, like something like that?
Roll an investigation check.
I rolled a 5, but I'm going to flip the coin.
Okay, all right.
So if I get a heads, it's going to be success.
It's just whatever the DC is, it beats it.
Yes. So if I get a heads, it's a success, and if it's a tails, it's just whatever. Bop. Hey, and that's a hit.
All right. So the DC was 22, which you could have beat. What was your unmodified? What was your modified roll anyway?
+5 plus let's see, investigation 2, so 7.
Okay. Oh damn. Okay. So with your lucky coin, and my God, is it lucky this time? You find a strange, pearlescent, elongated cone-like thing that appears to be some form of pearly ivory that's in a kind of twisting pattern that comes to a very sharp point.
Interesting. Pocketed.
So you are, let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's another 30 seconds. So we are at about 96 seconds. So we're about a minute and a half.
Okay, she told me like 2 to 5 minutes, right?
Yep, she said 2, maybe 5, just depending on how comfortable you feel. And on that note, actually, make a perception check. Just a roll. Don't worry about it.
16.
16. All right. While you're in this room, you can hear underneath you the sound of that figure, those heavy footsteps. You can hear the sound of them directly under you. And they are kind of, as you pay attention, they are kind of sloping towards where you entered.
As in the staircase?
Yeah, they seem to be approaching that staircase.
Hmm. I'll get here and I'll take a quick gander here before I start making my way to the other staircase.
All right, so okay, cool. Yep, you can get there. He's about here, so all right. So just as you get to this door is where you're going to hear the greaves just hitting the wooden stairs. I'll just go ahead and reveal this whole square right there. And
Rats.
the closet door is ajar, so that's why I revealed all of it.
Hmm. And of course, I'm not sloppily leaving everything open, by the way.
Yeah, I assumed you were being, smart about it.
Does this look like a master bedroom?
It does look something like a master bedroom. Because of the balcony mostly. The desk doesn't actually have anything on it other than a single piece of paper and a quill. And the door that's ajar does show like a trunk, but it's just like the trunks that are like at the bottom of all the beds.
Yeah. Alright. I more or less swept this place. It's the real gamble is that last area, huh?
Oh yeah, I guess. I think there's what, 1, yep, 2, 3, There's a few unexplored places. I think there's like 5 places left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? 4.
Nah, I'll take what I got and leave.
Alright, so what's your speed? 30, 35?
Yes, 30.
Alright, so 20, 20. Oh, god damn it. This thing is. Oh, that's right, because of the map.
Well, let's
So,
just say I get there, right?
yeah, so that's 30 feet. That's what I just counted. So 30 feet. That's when you would hear this doorknob kind of. Let me see, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. You can hear the footsteps approaching the door. Go ahead and make another move.
Just make my way down these other stairs.
Yep. So you'll get it. You'll easily get in
20, 25, 30, so like right here.
just about the time you're closing that door. You hear just echo in the empty chamber, the door open, and you can make your way back downstairs.
Same window that she told me to get out.
Just make a stealth check for me.
Stealthy Rooney. Let's see. 25.
Yep. You come out and you notice that the other guard is kind of in the kitchen, but he's got his back to you. Looks like he's preparing some kind of midnight snack, and you are
25.
You are out of that kitchen unnoticed. You close up the door, move your way over to the wrought iron gate, climb it, drop down, and you move into the woods. No one's there yet. Just you. Do you have a specific time you would like to wait?
Well, let's see.
You were in there for just over 2 minutes.
Murder!
Murder.
I'll give it 15 minutes for now.
Okay, so if you wait 15 minutes, you will see in just 3 minutes the guard passes by, and as soon as he makes the corner, the window opens, and out comes your which I mean, I guess I could. Do you want to see her token? I guess since she's.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? I'll upload it. It'll be huge.
Dang, that's a big token. But yeah, okay.
But she comes out, and makes her way over the fence, gets over, no problem.
I have like my hands behind my back, all crossed, and I'm just like waiting.
You do see in one arm, like as she's climbing up, she's like having a little bit of trouble because she's cradling something in one arm. But as she gets over and just like agilely falls and comes back over to the fence, she has her backpack is notably full. And she's holding in her hand a small, I don't want to say small, it's like maybe a foot tall statuette of one of the saints specific to, I believe it's Umberly. It's more prominent, more of a prominent saint, so it'd be a little bit more recognizable. I would say make a religion check if you want to know who it is, but you recognize that it's a statue of a saint, a statuette of a saint at least.
Oh boy, religion. 21.
21. It's the Saint. Oh, is it Saint? Sorry, let me just look at what it actually is. Okay, yeah. So Saint Gilia is kind of known for being a specific type of sadistic. She's the person you kind of pray to when you're like not praying directly to Umberly. When you pray to a specific saint, it's because they're usually an avatar of an aspect of a saint. She's specifically known for her avarice.
Mhm.
So the statuette itself, though, seems to be made of solid silver, so it's worth its weight in silver.
Yeah.
But you guys are outside. She kind of looks at you and grins. She's like, "You find anything interesting?"
I start with the jewelry, but then I work my way up. I got the ceremonial dagger, and then like the freaking ivory thing, whatever it is. I
Okay.
forgot what you said.
No, I didn't really indicate what it was. It was just like a pearlescent set kind of ivory situation.
And like all the other like
Mhm.
things that I pulled, the alchemy notes and the weird book that I got from the small chest, all that.
Right. So she's not interested in the book or the notes that you found. She does say that maybe a magister could make use of those, but it's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for more material goods.
Oh yeah,
Um,
just took it
when
because I thought it could be interesting.
right when you pull out, oh, Primus is already onto it. When you pull out that ivory, her jaw just gapes like wide open, and just like reactionarily, like just kind of like picks it up out of your hands, just like not yanking it or anything, just kind of like lifts it. Do you know what this is?
Do I have to make a roll to know what it is?
No, I mean, like, you probably haven't heard of it. I mean, you've probably heard of it, but you probably wouldn't know what it is.
I just shake my head. I only knew that the material was valuable.
So it's more than valuable. This is an incredible find. This is, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's very, very bad that someone would have this, but it is the horn of a unicorn.
Excuse me, what?
A unicorn's horn. Oh my.
This would fetch a lot of gold. And she kind of like starts looking through some of the other stuff that you found. Let's see. So that's the wrong one. So you hit. Remember one? You found the unicorn horn, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I found the weird book in here, and then a ceremonial dagger, and
Right.
like.
Okay, so let's stop there. The 3 arrows are magical arrows. You could give those to her, but you could keep those.
Nah, we can sell those.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
Rip
it's only
Kathen.
3 arrows.
Rest in peace, Kathen. No arrows for you. So, yeah, if you want to give them over.
Make very well arrows.
Alright, so you give over the 3 arrows. I'll tell you what they were in a minute. You give over the arrows. The dagger that you pull out is actually an athame. It is a spellcasting focus for warlocks. May have other properties, but it's definitely worth a lot of money because athames are not this fancy commonly. They're just nice daggers. Let me see what else. You have the small book. Opening that book up, it's just essentially a journal with prayers in it to some dark entity.
Well, they're not gonna miss that.
Yep. They're definitely gonna miss that. So let's see. You found the rings and the necklace.
Just the jewelry that I found throughout the house, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna start making sure I add this up. And then Athame. Okay. They were one shot in common, so they're worth. Okay. Then. All right. What's next? What else did you find?
Let's see. I don't think really much else. It was just like a bunch of knickknacks here and there, and then like the unicorn horn, and then the alchemy notes. But I don't think those are gonna be much. I mean, and then basically everything else I didn't really touch because the guy was coming up. So.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you can. This is a pretty penny. So I'm gonna say the fence has a fairly good fee. So that would be 10%. So all right. So he'll keep. So then you'll have this much. She's gonna give. I'm gonna say most of it. All right. So you get after you guys leave. You're gonna be basically escorted back to the glass torch after she collects everything that you're going to give to her. Is there anything that you keep for yourself?
No.
Everything.
Because he's not like that. Doesn't think money has any value, so he's just gonna give it all to her.
Nothing is shiny enough for it.
Right. So the only thing that she wouldn't take, like I said, were those the notes that were next to the notes in the journal kind of situation that was next to the apothic stuff. So she'll let you keep that, but then everything else she'll take. She'll tell you to hang out at the inn for maybe an hour or two, and she'll be back with your share of the gold. If you have any objections to that?
He'll take it just for the simple fact that it might benefit the group as a whole.
Okay.
It was a rather dangerous skirmish that he went on to get this stuff.
So she'll let you know when she comes back that you guys accumulated 2,000 gold worth of goods. The fence took 30% for himself, so that's 600 gold. 1,000 is going to go to the orphanage, and then she'll split the 420 with you. So you'll get 210 gold.
Wait. You said 2,000, and 1,000 is going towards the orphanage. So that leaves 1,000 left. So that's
nope. You missed the first part. 600 is the cut of the fence. So that's 1,400, and then there's 1,000 to the orphanage, which leaves 420, and then in half is 210. 210. And she'll break that down to you. She'll tell you exactly where the money's going.
That's fine.
All right.
That works for him.
Just because I want to tell you what those arrows were, it's hilarious. So I can't remember off the top of my head what the chain arrow was. I think it was basically like an arrow that could be fired from a bow, and it would grab onto a stone wall essentially, and then just drop a chain down so you could climb the wall. I think it was like up to 200 feet of chain. The red arrow with the golden fletching was a arrow of healing. You basically shot someone with it. They take a little damage, and then it heals way more damage.
That's a stew arrow.
Yeah, so it's a stew arrow. Yeah. And it's a arrow, Stewford arrow.
Gorgeous.
The last one was a what's it called? A arrow that worked kind of like a thunder wave. So you'd fire it, and the person that got hit with it would take arrow damage, essentially like a D6 piercing, and then whatever target it hit plus everything in a normal thunderwave radius would basically be affected by a thunderwave.
Yes, arrow damage, my favorite type of damage.
At second level, so it was a pretty good trio of arrows.
Yeah.
They were commonly sold for $250 a piece. Big push on that. The main stuff that gave me gold was the unicorn horn, which was 1,000 gold on its own, and then the 3 magic arrows.
Nod. Mm-hmm. It sounds to me like I did more of the work. I don't
You
know.
did fantastic. Honestly, there's only like I think one other really great thing to find in there that I think you would have kept.
I mean, I can go right back in.
I can go back in. Yeah, your night of, I'm going to say it's about 11 p.m., which is just about, I think it's like another 30 minutes, but just about when Gex is in the midst of trouble, in the midst of causing his trouble. And Primus is about to make an entrance. It's 11 p.m. The rest of you are at the tavern. You had yourself a very Robin Hood night. Congratulations. And you have secured 1,000 gold for an orphanage that could really use it. And in this particular world, 1,000 gold will go a very long way.
Well, yeah, most things are like copper or silver.
Yep.
Like food is like a cup of copper, man. Like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, so that'll definitely help out where it's headed. And before she heads out, because she's not going to stay at the tavern, she slides over to you a small little pyramid. It's strangely sided though. It's got 5 sides cut out of it, and then obviously a flat bottom. And the bottom of it has a little emblem. If you ever find yourself in the Sunken Kingdom, and you find yourself in a little bit of trouble, this will get you out of it.
Hold on, let me make sure I get that down. So it's like a pentagon? It's not like a pyramid, it's more like a pentagon.
Yeah, it's like a 5-sided pyramid. It's a strange thing. If I can find the little mathematic image of it for you.
Mathematical.
That's essentially what it looks like.
Post it in the Discord, yeah. Alright. Hey.
Event
and
okay.
when he takes the pyramid and he's like, well, I appreciate the gesture. And also, don't be a stranger. I much enjoyed your company.
She kind of smiles at your comment and kind of leans in a little, and she says to you,
What happened?
perhaps
I didn't know.
at another time we could talk more about my company. And she just like taps your nose before pushing off of the table, and in a dramatic fashion, like as she pushes herself off the table, she just kind of lets the momentum carry her backwards, and she snaps her cape and just falls back into that purple energy.
Damn, I did get booped. What the fuck?
You got booped!
The hell?
You cannot escape the boops! Okay, I'm done.
And once again, you didn't catch your name.
Son of a bitch! Damn, a mysterious woman, dark elf, shenanigans.
Later that, in about 30 minutes, Gex has incited a small riot inside of a bar. And
And got away with it.
just as things are starting to get out of hand, bursts in Primus, who uses a little bit of his magic to get a size larger, let out a tremendous roar, which catches the attention of just about everybody. Some people, I should say most people, more or less shocked, but there are some adventuring types in the bar who are
The
little
Goliath.
less. Yeah, the Goliath especially. And after a pretty good, I'm going to say, nicely worded stuff, the guard and Gex, the guard, followed by a number of patrons, donate an excessive amount of coin that's going to be needed to repair this, which will most likely go to the establishes maybe some upgrades. Instead of having its lower end stuff, maybe it'll improve, maybe not, we'll see. Primus then, I think, shifted into a direwolf. And, yep, and then grabbed Gex and took off, and I believe the greatsword was left behind with a very scrawny nerd.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite ended up with that greatsword.
And you just hear in the background, oh, freaking sweet.
Oh, freaking sweet, man. So, you hear, you guys are eventually, Gex and Primus, you are eventually headed elsewhere. I imagine you ended up back at the Glass Torch.
They continue their crime, and then Gex is like, I feel unstoppable. Let's go rob a house. Let's rob that one, and they rob the same house I've already robbed.
No, hey! I broke no laws, okay?
Except almost caused a riot.
No, I didn't break any laws.
Disorderly conduct is a thing. Hello.
I started.
That would just be so funny though. Gex is like in the same place.
Where the freaking Gex, man? Public littering.
And hell, and anything too. Like a third of the guards in the city are on my side now.
That's true. You definitely won the favor of the guard for sure.
Oh, okay. So you almost caused a revolution, is what you're saying.
I could just see Gex like finding that secret compartment where the freaking unicorn horn is, and be like, "Who the fuck hides? Like, who has this super secret compartment that doesn't even have anything in it?" And then just make a comment about how tall folks do the dumbest shit. So, after an adventurous night, the six of you come to rise in the morning. Cathend gets no new arrows, and you guys are ready to seize the day. What would you like to do?
So it's morning time now, right?
Yes, unless anyone had any other things they wanted to do around midnight at 1 a.m.
Did we run out a room? Otherwise, Gex is sleeping in the cart.
I mean, if you guys wanted to get a room, you could. I just assumed that the rest of you did, which would be...
Well, right now I can't.
Oh, right, because you're flat broke, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so...
You can be a pillow in a room.
Make a... Well, no, let's just say he sleeps on the cart. That's cool. Make a constitution.
Didn't
Wait, no.
Lex?
Now hold on. I have a
No,
bunch of
I
blankets
would
and
have.
stuff.
I would have gotten rooms for everybody.
Hold on. When we first got here and we showed up at the Glass Torch Tavern, Gex paid for all the rooms. Me and Batani shared one.
Did I
Right.
do that? I might have.
Yeah, that's a thing. I remember that.
That's when we first
Alright,
got there, so.
Yes. Okay. So yeah,
Alright.
you all had rooms for the night. That's why I skipped over it. God, I was like, I remember. Cathend receives these items, which is a wand of identification. It holds 3 charges, and you can use a charge to identify with no components an item, expending 1 charge to do so, and then it follows the rules for the other wands. Then it has Lilica's letters. These are specifically for you, Cathend, for you to basically send just Lilica a letter.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong, anyone can use them, but she gave them specifically to you for a purpose.
I know.
But yeah, you guys wake up in the morning. You're in a very quiet inn after a very rousing night of I should say halfling folk music mixed with some elvish dance.
It was all very entertaining.
Yes, the men in the establishment were very entertained.
It's very abstract for Rye.
Yes, it's very abstract for Rye.
Did we have more business here, or were we heading on to our next place?
I believe we are heading on to the next town.
That would be Luxon, right?
Yes,
Or whatever's in between.
I believe, Keza, you had something in Lexon, correct? Keza,
Repeat that question.
you have something in Lexon, correct?
Had.
So I specified at the beginning when they were talking that situation fell through.
Yes. So whatever it was, it fell through. So I suppose it's still not terrible to go visit there to learn any potential knowledge from the library.
Right. You guys were looking to research the item inside the glass that's as strong as steel. The hypercube.
Yes.
Ah, that was a good sleep. So where are we going to now?
Luxon. It's a very large city.
What about the TRASR?
TRAS.
Trasser? I love it.
Yeah, hold up. What?
The treasure map. Not spelling treasure right on purpose.
Oh, you're talking about my treasure map?
I have the treasure map. You don't even have it.
Hey, not so loud, will you fucking mooks?
What's a mook?
It's you if you talk about it out loud.
Oh,
What's a mook?
I'm talking to people, not somebody.
I don't know what that is.
I think CJ pissed himself.
Sounds like. So. Big cat scared him.
I mean, I believe that heading to Luxon so we can properly look at this map and properly I just believe that heading to a larger city would be correct to do the research that we had originally was planning to do in the first place.
I mean, that's fine and all, but
It should be
let's not
good.
forget about it.
Maybe I can find some more information on magic that makes people sick.
Another thing is, I believe there is a larger temple there to my goddess. Correct?
Wait, are you asking me or you
No,
should know
I'm
this,
asking
right?
the DM.
You're the Moon
He said he'd
Knight.
be right back.
Oh, fucking whore.
Damn.
Does the size of the temple really categorize how religious one can be?
No, it's just I'm curious on some things.
It's always a contest with these tall fucks.
Back.
No need to have such a distasteful show of words.
Show 'em. I'm speaking 'em. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Maybe words with more than one syllable is above his conversation level.
I thought fucking had two.
Yeah, it's got at least 2, maybe 3.
Then we should go to Luxlin. If we stay here long, we get comfortable, then we won't want to go.
We could also possibly figure out the correct direction to the thing that you seek.
What I am seeking for?
Well, unless our friend Gex wishes to have something else.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would be interested if there's treasure or history on Dwarven people.
Let's not say the T word out loud.
I think Gex from the leak.
Anyway, are we about ready to go?
Yes.
So, you don't want me to say tiny out loud?
What's Tiny gotta do with anything?
Well, if it's a word
What are you calling Tiny?
if it's a word that you don't want spoken out loud, it must offend somebody.
Now I'm proud to be tiny. Huh? I'd rather be fucking tiny than tall.
Gex
That's a
isn't
bad
tiny.
word right there, you know.
Gex isn't tiny. Gex is small. There's a difference.
I believe that size does not really matter in this instance.
No.
I do not see the reason why you must antagonize our friend here.
Yeah, watch yourself.
How does one watch themselves without a mirror?
The fuck you gotta be like speak so goddamn smart. Speak simple.
And to answer your question, miss, it's to liven up the morning.
Miss.
Can I get tea?
They have black tea and citrus tea.
Black tea's good.
Ooh, I would like the some of the citrus, please.
I order again the house special.
Okay. In this particular place, it's not as squalid as the dive bar. The house special here is eggs, biscuit. There's some ham and some bacon, and they bring out a drink that is super tart while being somehow sweet too.
All right. I give them a hand crossbow and tell them to keep the change.
I grab the hand crossbow and give it back to him, and I say,
Hey! Don't get their tip away from them. They're working folk. Let them get the tip.
Listen. I am going to pay for your food and drink.
What about the tip?
I will leave a tip as well.
I can.
I will also leave the tip. Do
all
not worry.
right. Fine, then you can keep the crossbow.
Oh my god! I can't hear this. Is so good. Okay.
Vitani literally looks at Rai, very confused at what she has done wrong.
I don't know.
Oh man, I am tickled. Okay, so
Yes, he doesn't want to get the tip.
so
Well, the tip is simple. You just give them some good advice.
ooh,
That is not what kind of tip he means.
Travis, you get 2 house specials.
Are you okay there, CJ? You sound like you're dying.
Yeah, I'm done. All right, that was the most unexpected shit ever. I give her a hand crossbow. Keep the change. Fuck. Imagine
Also, real quick, how much to pay for everyone's food?
like, just can you imagine someone just breaking out like a silver bar in the middle of a restaurant and being like, "Here, keep the change."
Well, also too, knowing Gex was probably loaded.
Oh god, yes. Okay.
So, how much to pay for everybody's food?
With tip included and with all the food, I would say 15 silver.
I give them 2 gold and tell them to keep it.
Gex nods approvingly.
All right, so yeah, she's happy to take the extra 5 silver. She looks very pleased. You guys have your breakfast delivered. The tart fruit juice is grapefruit.
Okay, and again, I asked for a to-go box.
She looks at you very, very confused, like no one asked for that. Like what? So she goes and talks to the manager. The manager looks equally confused, but manages to put together like basically this tin, like there's a tin box that they just find that they kept probably some bread or cookies in or whatever, and use it as your to-go box.
Alright, I tip them a boomerang. No, I'm just kidding. I thank her.
Once we're actually like leaving the city and everything, I don't know who's driving, but whoever's in
Gex.
okay, I pull the curtain back so Gex can hear the conversation. I had a very odd experience at the temple when I went last night.
Oh, that's weird. Me and Primus had a great time at the bar we went to.
Apparently, this temple had been sent a vision of my arrival and was told to give me any assistance that I may require. And they gave me this, and I pull out the box with the potions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'll take one. I'm been thirsty.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no. I believe that these two are healing potions.
You believe or you know?
I believe. I do not know what the other one is, so
I could drink it and tell you.
let's not. We have this wand that we can use to figure this out.
Right. So, identifying one of the potions, I'll just tell you they're the same.
Yeah.
They're just common healing potions. And using a second charge, the cream that you were given is I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Kihogdom's ointment. Oh fuck! And I think it has a random. I got it.
Can we get Thomas?
Dope. All right. It has 3 uses. So, why can you swallow it? That's stupid. You can either swallow or apply it to the skin. Creature that receives it. So it's an action to apply, but someone who gets it is cured 2d8 plus 2 hit points, ceases to be poisoned, and is cured of any diseases.
Oh shit!
Well, you can definitely eat it.
That's so weird.
Oh, hey. Bread and butter. Might as well make it bread and cream. Have a nice meal.
Hey, while this is all going on, Gex is waving at all the guards that he recognizes from last night.
Some of them are like, now that they're feeling better, they like some of them are like kind of like nodding their head to you, but like not necessarily a friendly way, but others are like super like chill. Like they wave to you, they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like some of them even stop to like say good morning and all that.
Yeah. So, the ones that have like shiners on their eye ask, "Man, that was a crazy night last night. Are you okay?" Stuff like that.
Yeah, and you'll see a couple of them are a little roughed up, but they're mostly positive.
Yeah, good. But after every interaction, I whisper to myself, "Sucker."
Perfect.
Any guardsman that's actually like a tall, small folk, I do show more genuine, pleasantries to.
No, this is it's like a human driven place, so it's pretty much all humans.
Yeah,
There wasn't really any like short guards that you saw in there.
Alright, just want that little tidbit. Alright, carry on.
Alright. So you guys are departing, I imagine.
Yeah, well, the conversation about the potions happened while we were on the road.
Okay. So,
alright. Also, too, I give the reins to the Scarecrow and just tell Hawkeye to follow the road.
Yep, okay. To Resk. Look, you guys are on, what the hell was that? Infinity.
And beyond.
Infinity Miles.
Oh my god. How'd you do that?
I have no idea. I just scrolled over it. I was like, did that say infinity just now?
I guess it'll take an infinite amount of time.
And you guys are traveling by drawn, so it's the same as walking, so 36 and 90. Alright, so it'll take just over 3 days to get to Resk's Look. And then this will be 180. That's good. 6 total days. So in the evening of the 6th day, we'll arrive in Luxley.
Dawn of the sixth day. Dun, dun,
So
dun.
for the
Well,
first
you only have 7 days.
for the first leg of the race, you guys just need one d12.
Okay. Also, I want to point out too that that
I
cart
rolled
has
a
like
2.
about like 10 blankets in there and a bunch of bedrolls.
Yeah, it's still outside.
I rolled a 2.
Roll a 2. Cool. Let me get my fucking notebook.
Your fucking notebook? We don't need to know
Hey.
about what you and
Hey.
Christy do.
The Kama Sutra.
Hey, this isn't for Christy to know. This is just when Christy's gone.
Oh my god.
Hey, CJ, Primus wants to predict the weather
Primus would like to predict the weather.
with Druidcraft.
So what? Is
Because he can do that with Druidcraft.
Yep, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be, your location for the next 24 hours. The effect might manifest. Blah, blah, blah. All right,
Just
cool.
here in the background. It's cold, bitch!
No, it's warming up. Go ahead and roll a second d12. We'll just say that with Primus predicting how things are going to go, we're going to give you...
Let's let Primus do it. There's a little...
sure.
Yeah.
Primus, roll a d12. And we'll
I believe in you.
We'll treat it like weather.
Look at that.
So, you do actually get a better result out of that. It wouldn't have been terrible. Like, it would have been windy, overcast, but now it's actually much better. It's very clear.
I should have fucked myself.
Letting you guys know that it's a it's a very it's going to be very nice for the next few days. And carrying through, the travel is actually gorgeous. The sun's very warm. There's only a light breeze, which is very nice. You get to Resk's Look, which is, again, like a very lake locked. It's directly next to a large body of water. There is some boats that go out, but it looks like mostly fishery. It doesn't look like any of the galleys are currently in the mooring area. So it's just the fishing boats. But Resk's Look is much like Willow West in the way that it's not a very big town, but it is a major exporter of a particular good, which is fish. Nothing super interesting. Again, it's a lot like Willow West. When you guys pass through it, it's kind of like, hey, I think we're in town. And then, like, a moment later, you hear Gex say, hey, I think we left town. So, just kind of drift right through it. I need one more D12. And I guess with Primus, we'll do another D12. So, Primus, roll another D12. And then anyone else, a second D12.
I already rolled mine.
I'll roll one if no one wants it.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, what's that number?
Doubling down on the 5s here. Alright, so the night after you guys spend basically an evening just after Resk's Look. You start out the next day, and it starts to get overcast. And on the second day, there's a little bit of rain. And just as you're getting to Luxland, the storm is going from a light rainstorm to a much harsher deluge, and it's actually amplified by the lake effect from Or's Rest. But nonetheless, you guys arrive in Luxland. I will now get rid of this gem. Who gave it hit points? Oh my god. But you guys arrive in Luxland. And it is a much not going to say much. It's not larger than Green Rest. It's much larger than most of the towns you've passed through, but it is very different in its. Yeah, it's a lot safer to travel on the road. Like if you guys are off track, it's a very different roll table. The sorry, the city is much better developed. Like the buildings aren't quite so old or thrown together. Everything here is very much stonework. Everything is very well put together. The shopping here isn't nearly as nice as Green Ridge. It's kind of a more of a diplomatic center, and it also houses great libraries that are run by specific institutions. It has a military presence and a number of diplomatic embassies, along with storehouses for specific goods that can be distributed to armies in need. It's very much a very functional capital. Nonetheless, you have arrived in Luxland. It's the middle of the night, and what's your first move?
Enter the city.
What? No. I suggest maybe we should sleep out here before we actually enter into the city.
Someone at an inn or a tavern should take us in.
I would like to be able to enter the city during the day so we can all be able to.
I will remind Vitani that it is pouring.
Never mind, I don't say any of that.
Wet fur has an interesting aroma.
Yes. So, Vitani, don't say any to that.
Okay. So again, you guys arrive in town. Most people are shuttered in. You do see maybe a few people running about trying to get from A to B as quick as possible. The streetlights that would normally be lit are not because of the rain. There are a few, and I mean when I say a few, there's one every severe block. There's a single glowing orb here and there that provides some permanent soft light, but it's not anything that's greatly lighting the area. It's more for the guard if they have to move around so that they know exactly where they need to be. Because notice these orbs are slightly different shades. They seem to range from a deep blue to a bright blue as you travel. I know you guys are looking for. I imagine you're looking for an inn.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna say someone roll me a D6, and we'll see which one you end up at. You end up at the Siren's Call. There's drink. There's food, song. People are dancing inside, even though it's about 9-10 o'clock. The party hasn't stopped here. There is most likely an inn, but if you want company tonight, you can purchase it.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Wait,
does that mean Kid? Does that mean Kid is working tonight?
Dang.
Sorry, Zia. Zia has a prostitute character
Oh, okay.
in Gix's campaign. Who's up to what? 5 wives?
Oh, Jesus. Is that right?
Is that right, Zia? Kid is up to 5 wives?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like
Good.
a polygamist.
Anyway, I look at everybody. I will go see if I can get us some rooms.
Okay.
I go up to the keeper.
Yep. A kind of belly dancer dressed woman is standing there again. This is a very human establishment, but you do see a little bit more variety than in most places when you're in the human kingdoms.
Hello.
Yes.
I am. My friends and I wish to find a few rooms to rest in for the evening.
And she kind of like leans over, just like peer over your shoulder, being taller than she is, and then kind of like leans back up. How many?
Well, there is 2, 4. There's 6 of us. So at the very least 3 rooms preferred.
All right. Okay. 3 rooms. Absolutely. Would any of you like a guest?
Batani kind of looks at her and tilts her head.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, that's cute.
That's
A little condescending, but okay.
So, this is the kind of place where if you are interested, you can pay for companionship. If you follow.
Fornication.
You're not there. You're not there.
Right behind you.
I look over and I yell, "Excuse me, guys, come here."
Yes?
They wish to know if any of us want a companion for the evening. For
How much?
fornication.
I have 5 companions. I don't need more.
You see the girl behind the counter just kind of like smile and nod, like, okay.
That is not what they mean, Rye. I did not understand it either, and I lean over and whisper
oh
to
my
Rye.
goodness! As I just simply, like, I'm already aware of what this is. I'm just like,
Keza, are you wishing companions
No.
this evening? Keza?
I said no.
Oh.
As much as I have no issues with sex work, I must say that I have to reject all and every fiver of where I grew up.
Oh.
True, because in her particular area, this is not such a willing trade.
If I'm going to participate in such things, I would rather do it with someone that I share my sentiments with.
Consent depends on what you're looking for.
Oh. I'll have to come back and see what you have of services.
Okay.
They have. How many rooms do you have available?
She kind of shrugs. She's like, we have a great deal of many rooms. We're not fully occupied.
I look at everybody. Do you all wish to have? Who wishes to have their own room, and who is okay with bunking with another person?
Well,
I can share.
technically, if we're having a guest, we're already bunking with another person.
You are the only one who is interested in that.
I can pay for my own room.
All right.
I shall sleep in my cart.
You can. I am willing to pay for your room, Gex.
Nah, I'm good.
Would Gex like a guest to help him unwind before the big city?
Hell no.
So, Gex, your wagon is covered. You won't be out in the elements.
Should have bought a gypsy cart.
Well, you didn't have any of those until you got to Green Ridge.
They had a gypsy cart at Green Ridge? Why didn't nobody tell me?
I didn't know. No one told us.
No one asked.
That's fair.
Is there one here? Because then that's like a traveling hotel on wheels without the money.
Good question. Good question for the morning.
Anyway, I guess, Keza, does that mean you and Primus will be sharing a room together?
Oh my god, that was a thing? Oh. Ugh.
What? I don't like the way he says that.
Christy just sent me this thing that's like perpetual stew is stew containing whatever is on hand and added to as needed, constantly kept above the danger zone. Can be at the save pot for years, always being above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a perpetual cycle of adding and removing from it. It was often a staple of medieval inns and meals.
Yep.
Yes, that is an actual thing.
Eternal stew.
Basically, as they empty it, they refill it at the same time. So it's constantly hot and it's constantly got seasonings in it. And it might be a little bit ripe, but, it's constantly cycled. So you don't know how old it really is.
That's fucked up.
So, hey, we could be the eternal stew on a cart.
Hey, they have that caustic stew in Tasha's.
All right, so
But I'll message you privately.
that's fine.
For the guest.
For the
I guess-
two-room,
No, it'd be because I said that I was going to pay for everybody's room, and she keeps the what she says.
all right, so she'll get an individual room for Cathen.
Yes.
All right, and a room for you and Dry.
Yes.
And then what's Primus doing?
Does Primus want his own room, or is he okay with sharing a room with
Primus is fine sharing.
Huh?
Well, not really going to be sharing because apparently Gex is going to sleep outside.
Keza. Sharing with Keza.
Oh, sure.
I want candied black trumpet mushrooms. They're very good.
You said trumpet mushrooms?
Candied black trumpet mushrooms, yes.
Go. And she points she picks up her hand from behind the thing, which you can see is just covered in all these rings. And she just points to the more towards the common room. Go talk to the chef about that.
Okay.
So for the 3 rooms that you got, it's 6 gold.
Very well.
You pay for the rooms, no problem. If you want to go check them out, they're actually very luxurious. They're nice rooms. The for Cathend, I know you're going to PM me, and I will tell you what's up. But for Rye, for your specific order of mushrooms, they'll say yes, and they'll bring you candied mushrooms. No idea if they're black trumpet or not.
What do they look like?
They look like baby Bellas.
I'll wrinkle my nose and I'll take them and I'll pull out one of the trumpet black mushrooms that I had in my pack and I'll hand it to him. This is a trumpet mushroom. It's very good. Trailing's lead fleece. They will pay decent.
He takes the mushroom and looks at it. Hasn't seen anything like it before. But doesn't give it back. I think he's going to...
She'll take her prize with her and she'll decide later if she likes them.
Cool.
There you go. 2 things that Cathend might be looking for. And... well, yeah, you can always take your time on that. We can always do a rewind and... yeah, have fun.
Oh, no. There's actually...
Be nice about it, even if there is something wrong with his request. That's all. I just thought I'd let you know my alignment at least, so you know.
Oh, I know.
Okay, just gotta make sure not everybody is. But yeah, go ahead and continue everybody's fun.
So you if you take her up on that offer, I'll let you know what the price is, but there's actually a pretty good menu here. It's fairly varied, but it seems to be catered to the you could say the humanoids, not necessarily the more fringe humanoids, but basically dwarves, humans, elves, gnomes, and halflings. That particular subset seems to have any kind of their dishes. So for Rye, while she might not be able to find any Dre specific, halflings share the Dre space, so you would have a familiarity with the halfling dishes, which they would have a fair selection of.
Okay. Then I will purchase the stuff that I like.
You could find there's this stuff called, and I know it's actually an Irish dish, but it's called haggis.
Oh,
I know what haggis
I know
is.
what haggis is.
Yep. So that's a halfling fare here, and you could get that.
Okay, no blind fish.
No blind fish, but they do have a selection of salmon slash what's it called? Haddock.
Mm. Okay, I'll buy the dried fish, and I can take that with. But I'll buy the haggis to go with the candied bella mushrooms.
All right, they do have dried fish for take along essentially, which is wrapped in like a cheesecloth and placed in a thin tin container. But you can all find whatever fare you want, roughly 6 silver per meal. And Kethed, if you take up the tiefling, she'll be 25 gold for the evening.
I have the gold for it, but no, that's not what he's seeking.
Okay. If you want to go for the not, the more basic stuff, it's 10 gold.
Okay.
And they have a pretty good selection. You could probably actually get a black scaled dragonborn female for that. Though they do have where is it? They do have a man you could go with instead, who's a Goliath, who maybe isn't into as rough as you're talking, but could be into adjacent things.
Okay. And I will be a little more specific on what he is looking for outside of that.
Yeah.
Let me finish
He'll spend the night. He'll spend the night with you for 15 gold.
Information is key, after all. He knows what he's looking for, and he'll try and get it one way or the other. But yeah, if you want to continue with everyone else.
Okay, so, well, no, for that, like just for someone who lived up north,
Who knows
it wasn't
of that place? Rumors, anything of concrete evidence, stuff like that.
You don't have the map. I do.
At the beginning when we got the map, I memorized it. It's in my character notes.
he can replicate it. The
Cartographer.
So no one here is going to have that kind of info, mostly because they're just like that's just not what their focus is, but also B, the people who would have that information in this establishment are probably in a room somewhere because the diplomats frequent this place.
Of course. Oh well. But no, Cathed will spend the time trying to get what he needs before paying for a lovely gent or lass, so that not to waste anybody's time.
Gotcha. Okay, so you won't find anything on the whatever, but someone will mention to you that it'd be better if you went to the northern district where the college. Sorry, is that right? Where the. Here it is. The university, the academy, and the colleges.
Okay. I'll happily go visit them after a lovely night with a lady or gent that you wish to send my way. Spend the evening of fun.
All right, we'll say 10 gold for the night.
Okay.
Other than going to bed, does anyone else want to do anything specific? All right, Primus is going to bed. Everyone else I'm going to assume is going to bed. Ryan rolls a 2.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I liked it.
Hates it. Nope, it's not at all what you're looking for. The candied flavor does not go with this Bella mushroom at all.
I am going to spit it in the spittoon, and I am going to wipe my tongue clean before I eat the haggis.
The haggis is good.
And I'm going to tell Faitani, when we go into the city tomorrow, we find somebody who carries the trumpets.
Say that again.
In the morning, when we go out into the city, we find somebody who carries the trumpets.
The
Very
mushroom?
well.
Yes, the candied black trumpet mushrooms.
I got you. Okay. Well, they're going to have black trumpet mushrooms. You're going to have to candy them yourself.
No drailing in the city? Shame, shame.
Shame.
So, in the morning, when you guys get up and take your leave, I know Cathen will probably be headed there, but to be honest, if Cathen shares where he's headed, probably going to be the exact same place you need to head.
That is where I'm headed.
Like with sugar, hard pass, candied. It was gross. Okay. So walking through the city again, like it's very clean, it's very pristine. There is a beautiful kind of vibe to the place. It's very proper. It's like when you walk through I don't know how to describe it. It's like when you walk into, like, I want to say, like a bank that was just built. It's got marble everywhere. Like, things are very just well pieced together. Eventually, you do come to this kind of courtyard. It has this big fountain in the center with these 3 people kind of assembled, these 3 statues pointing in the directions of these particular very nice buildings. They're not overly large, but they're well built, very fancy, all have, gates kind of separating their areas. And one of the statues is wearing robes and holding a tall staff. Another of the statues is kind of in more of a dramatic pose and kind of has cut into the stone kind of like this magical kind of like effect on their hands. And the last one is looks like they're about to play a tune on a lyre. And they're facing out in each direction, and underneath each statue is a plaque for what college they represent or which school they represent. The robed woman with the staff represents the University of the Learned Arts. Specifically, this is a wizard school. The second one that has the kind of like sorcerer's pose is the Academy of Channeled Magics. And the final stage, the final statue facing the last building is the College of the Performing Incantations. Specifically where bards go to study their specific school of college. While again, these buildings aren't massive because magic isn't just everywhere, they are the greatest repositories on this island of arcane knowledge. Nerd schools. And it's up to you which one you'd like to check out first.
That's the one that Cathend will be heading towards.
Got it. On the fine last, well, she just told you to head to the North District, just to check out one of those places. She didn't really give you direction. She didn't know. She just knew that the schools were that way. Vitani.
Mm-hmm.
Given your exposure to specific magics like Dispel, I would say your best guess to research the Hypercube is going to be the Wizard College because they specifically study magic rather than learn how to string songs together to create magic or how to control invoking the power of the planes to release magic.
Okay.
So you did, walking up there, I'm going to say your gut instinct would be to knock on the door of the university versus, I'm going to say map stuff. Cathed, I think your first instinct would probably be the college rather than the university because bard stuff, so it's kind of lore-ish, and that seems to be the right fit.
Alright, let's do that then.
Let's see. Let's start with Vitani and the Hypercube. Who's going where? Who's all going to which side? Oh, good question. If the courtyard wasn't empty, you could ask someone.
I'll go with Vitani.
Okay.
Plan.
Wait, so is this the library that they're going to?
Well, the libraries are held within the schools, and each library just has, different niches of what type of knowledge it has. It just seems to be that the wizard university would be the best for magical item and possibly magic item destruction, because magical items don't typically break. Part of being imbued with magic commonly makes it indestructible unless there's a specific weakness placed into it on purpose. or if the magic's specifically unstable.
Well, I wanted them to come here mostly for them to find their own answers and things such as that of that gesture. I'm
Sure.
not really here for myself, really, anymore, really. So I guess I'll just check around town, seeing what it's got. Make an impression on the townsfolk.
Sure. Go ahead and give me, and I'll work up what these do later. But give me 3. I'm gonna say
Persuasion, like the last time.
Yeah, let's do 3 persuasion and then 1 perception. And then just tell me what in the general chat. Tell me what the results are.
Okay, I can. Yeah.
Vitani, Rye, and Primus are going to go to. Where's Gex going? What's he doing? Gex died. Okay, got it.
Rest in peace.
Hey, what happened?
Hey, where are you going?
Where am I going? Do I have to go anywhere?
So no, you can do whatever you want essentially, but Primus, Ryan, Vitani are headed to the university, and Cathen's going to the college.
I'll follow to the university.
All right, so we'll start with the university since the majority of you are there. It's an open door, essentially. Like there's an archway, and the doors are kind of opened on purpose. Seem to be, held open. Walking in, there is a gentleman who's not necessarily, he's probably like just under middle-aged, who's just writing stuff on a just like a own personal notebook. Going through probably some book, writing down some kind of research. Looking up as he hears the footsteps, he kind of sits up from his position and folds his hands together. Hello.
Good evening.
What up,
Or,
nerd?
good afternoon.
And with that, Gex gets thrown out immediately. And it's like that one scene from Charlie Brown where he misses the football.
So looking down at Gex from behind the desk, he's kind of caught off guard by the nerd comment. But then just kind of like, okay, yeah. So, how can I help you for?
We wish to do some research, if that is acceptable.
Yes, access to the library is open to the public. Just the fee is a gold, just to drop it in that box right there, and you'll be able to walk right in.
A gold per person, or?
Mm-hmm.
I just drop in 4 gold for us.
And he just kind of gives a wave as the door just kind of like opens by itself after you drop the gold in. And as soon as the 4th person's through, the door closes. You are inside of a room that has books on top of books. It's like 3 stories of books. When you were outside, you saw there was like an individual kind of like tower outside of like the base building. This is a tower. It's literally where all the books are. Inside is a few young men, a few young women, and they're not all human. They are pretty rare. So there's not, like I said, there's not a lot. Maybe 5 or 6 people total, plus an elderly gentleman who just seems to be doing librarian things, putting books back, reordering things that are out of order.
Okay.
But you don't seem to be, you know.
Let us begin to research what we're supposed to find.
Sure. You can go ahead and start searching an endless pile of books. Where do you start?
The book and start leafing through it.
Do they like one of those carts you see at library where you can put books on?
Yeah, the old man's pushing it.
Do they have an extra one?
Not right now.
Oh, okay, I'll keep my eye out for it.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it shows up.
I walk over to one of to the old man.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh yes. How can I help you?
Is there a head librarian or someone that may be able to assist us?
Me.
You are the head of the library and know how to do the research and everything?
Well, I mean, I'm not just a librarian, but I do. This is part of my duties. Yes.
We are searching for some information on a item that we found.
Oh, and do you have it?
I can't remember. Did I grab it? I have it, right?
Who has the?
I do.
Okay, sure.
I do. Yeah, I do. I was looking through my items. Yeah, I have it. Yes. She gets into her backpack and scrounges through it, and here it is. This.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting design. You're aware of what the design represents, yes?
I believe that's why we came to research it.
Okay, so this is a cube that inside of a cube it essentially represents a fourth dimension. The fourth dimension being time, because we travel through time.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting is curious that the object in the middle, you see he's like kind of like turning the glass like in all directions and moving it up and down and like, just kind of being shifty with it just to see if that sphere stays directly in the center, which it does. He's like, that's interesting. It's not at all. And he like literally just like tosses it up in the air and then catches it. Doesn't seem to be at all affected by gravity. Amazing. Have any of you identified this?
She shakes her head no.
No. It's a box in a box.
It's a box in a box.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pearl and then taps it against the glass, and you see that similar flash to Leth had. And his eyes like kind of go wide. My God, that is an extinct form of magic. And he sets it down on the table. This is very interesting. I have to tell you, we do have some information on this kind of thing.
Wonderful.
Gonna take a minute to pull it down. It's somewhere in the upper levels where a student doesn't typically try to get to. The magic here, do you know what it's called?
Magic.
It's called glass steel. It makes glass as strong as steel. And since you can't break steel with steel, typically, were you looking to break this? Just out of curiosity.
I believe we were just trying to figure this item out so we can know what to do with it.
I understand. Okay, so give me one moment, and you see him like kind of walk over to a little square, I shouldn't say square, rectangle stone that's just resting on the ground. He says a little arcane word, and the stone begins to levitate with him on it. And an outer piece of that stone levitates upward as well as it starts to lift him, and it kind of makes just a kind of like a handrail for him to hold on to while the stone's lifting him into the library. Eventually he gets to a certain shelf and he's like kind of looking around, and a book just kind of falls from his general space. Who's in the room? Yeah, all of you just go ahead and make perception checks.
Okay.
Surprisingly, Primus, there's no dust on the top of these books. Yep. Cool.
20.
Cool.
Ignore that 12.
What?
26.
Okay, ignore that 12.
I'm looking in a book I don't know.
Hey, is that cart unattended now?
Yeah, so now it's completely unattended.
Alright, I'm gonna start pushing it around and just pulling books out and putting on top of it.
Okay. So while you're creating chaos,
As usual.
the three of you don't notice anything, but Vitani, while he's kind of like just pulling out books here and there, one book just jumps out of the shelving.
Oh.
And it falls down to the ground and lands just like flat on its face. And he looks down confused because he doesn't feel like he dropped a book, but had to have, right? So he just goes back to looking for what he's looking for.
I look at the book.
It has a strange arrangement of ancient runes on the front of it that don't necessarily make any sense. And as you flip it open, it continues to not make sense and not make sense. And you keep moving through it. And eventually you get tired and you start, just kind of like, thumb leafing through it, and your thumb catches at a particular page and it just leaves open. And these runes kind of arrange themselves in a fashion that does look familiar. It's still an ancient language that you don't know, but you understand it from your burst of information that was given to you by a particular deity. And as you're reading the runes on there, it tells you of an artifact that is forged from multiple artifacts that can cut the very fabric of space and time. And an image appears in a blank space now left by the rearrangement of the runes. And you see 4 pieces that create a type of sword. And in the center, you see like a blade that comes down to a kind of like a horseshoe hilt. I shouldn't say horseshoe. It's like a U, but it's like closed in. It's almost like someone cut a piece out of a chakram.
But Tawny is automatically like at a seat at the table, like literally copying the stuff down.
Totally fine. As you understand it, of course. So you're copying stuff down, and I'll tell you in a minute. When you were looking at the paper, though, there's the blade. There's the, like I said, like the chakram that has like a V cut out of the top of it. so that there's space for the blade to just sit there. In the center of that chakram is a small orb that has a fire depicted in it. And then there is a just like a handle of a sword that, and these pieces are floating individually but forming a blade. So it looks like a proper sword. And it's known as an Azoth. Just for typing's sake. So the Azoth is what this weapon is called, and you're writing a bunch of shit down. Just out of curiosity, do you write in any kind of weird language, or are you trying to do it in just common? Goblin.
Goblin.
See if I still have the picture of that. Yeah, copy. So it kind of resembles this. Only the hilt, the hand and the hilt are detached. The handle and the hilt. And what you guys have inside the hypercube appears to be what belongs in the center of that hilt.
So, sword bauble.
Yes, seems to be a important piece of the sword. Once you're done, taking your notes, and you sit back from the book and then look over at your notes, it is written in that dead language. In the arrangement, it was before you looked at it, and is just otherwise unintelligible.
Batani's eyes kind of hurt, and she's kind of shaking her head, and she gets everything wrote down and then sketched out, and then closes the book and just waits till the guy finds the other book she's looking for.
Mm-hmm. So he does come down with two books. Well, this will pretty much round out our night too. So he comes down with two books, places one down and then another one. Begins to pour over one until he gets to a particular place, which has this book seems to have a list of discovered dead magic or extinct magic and means of eliminating them or bypassing them. Glass steel, that particular spell that makes glass permanently as strong as steel, can be beaten by an adamantine weapon. Which is the information he essentially conveys after, looking through to find that particular spell. He was aware of it, so he's been in this book before. So if you guys can get an adamantine weapon, or find some institution that has one, you could potentially crack that glass open to retrieve the item in the middle. The other book he has is a journal. It's not at all a proper printed or arcanely recorded book. The journal is fairly incomprehensible. It has the ramblings of someone who seems to be just off their rocker. the more you read it, the more it doesn't make sense. The more he kind of goes through it, and he was like, I swear I've seen something in reference. And eventually he gets to it. And it tells of clarity for a moment. He looked into this crystal and immediately understood a purpose. And suddenly the notes go from being someone that's of a lost mind to clear writings. And they last for about 4 pages. And all of the notes are very articulate. They are well put together. Thoughts about how to essentially create a following of people who could utilize this gem for the betterment of humanity. And as you continue to read, the betterment of humanity kind of becomes this uplifting of humanity. It goes from improving things and this really benevolent speech about we can, cure diseases, we can create arcane objects that are technology based, we can do all those great things, and humans have the power to unlock X, Y, Z. And then the last page that's written in there, before it returns to random scribblings, is how the crystal was taken from him and how he can feel himself losing his sanity, and it devolves into the incoherent kind of smatterings with moments of clarity where he's writing pleas for help and prayers, and it turns into this very sad writing where you can see someone lose their mind in the book and eventually just devolves into madness once more. There was nothing negative in the notes, but the crystal gave this person a level of clarity that he had not previously experienced, and for being a madman, someone could make a line from, if this could take someone who's completely insane and turn them into a highly intelligent, well-thought individual, a highly intelligent, well-thought individual with the benefit of this crystal could do untold wonders. That's where we're going to leave off tonight.
Well, then.